Hi, this is Lindsay McDougall. Welcome to yoga class. Let's get started with a block on our mats in a seated position and come to your seat. Can be in Sukhasana, easy pose. I like to keep a strap and another block by me, but let's get started. Seated, let's ground the sits bones. Feel the pelvis, both sides of the waist. And reach the crown of the head from the back of the head up, elongating the spine with your inhale. And exhaling. Let's take some neck rolls, just rolling the neck clockwise, counterclockwise. Breathing nice and slowly and evenly. And switch directions. Good. And then bring the shoulders up to the ears. And then pull the shoulder heads back and roll the shoulders down. Begin to engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, pulling up on the pelvic floor until you feel the lower abdomen engage behind the navel center. On our inhale. And then releasing on the exhale. Pulling the lower ribs, engaging the bandhas, inhale. Side waist, back of the waist. And exhaling. Let's take a few more mindful breaths like this. Really just scanning and being in the body, using the breath to create those micro movements. Presence, power. Noticing how the breath feels, not only in the body, but also at the nostrils, the eyes, head and neck. Let's take another breath. Good. And then take the right hand down, reach the left arm up and over to a side stretch. Creating some movement, lowering the shoulder, raising the shoulder, and then just reaching those fingertips away. And the other side. Reaching, and coming back. And then remove your block. Let's make our way to tabletop. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips in our cow posture. And exhale, draw the belly in cat. Moving of the breath, inhale, shoulders down the back. Exhaling, emptying the breath. And the back body stretch out. Last one. Nice and long, reach the head forward. Exhaling. And then tuck the toes in. into downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog. Really reach the fingertips away, especially the thumb and forefinger are going to be rotating externally. Lengthen one waist, drop the left knee, and then switch sides. Right knee down. Good. Then find a sturdy down dog. Take a nice long inhale here, inner thighs rolling back. And let's look up and walk our way to the front of our mat. Inhale, lengthen the chest, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. And take the hands behind the calves. Raise the kneecaps, tuck the chin. You can keep a little bend to your knees. Create a nice long opening of the lower back. And then pressing the feet down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And coming to mountain pose. So in your mountain pose, squeeze the thighs, bring the weight into the back body, raise the chest. Lengthen the back of the head, shoulders down. And we'll start to move into our Surya Namaskars, okay? So inhale, reach up, back in. Exhale, forward fold, sits bones back. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right foot back, left foot back, plank. Come forward to chaturanga, elbows by the waist, or drop the knees and bring the chest between the thumbs. Make our way to a cobra or up dog. And exhale into down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Sweep it forward. Look up. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands, right foot back, look up. Left foot back, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath here in down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Sweep it forward. Look forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Reach. Tailbone down. And exhale. Come to mountain pose. We'll come into chair. Feet together, knees together. Sit back. Sweep the arms up. Look between the arms. Lift and reach the chest away from the hips. And then see if you can sit a little bit lower. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands. Left foot back, look up. Right foot back, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Reach upward, hips to thumbs. And then exhale, make your way back to down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Let's take it to side plank, so rock your heels over to the right, left hand up. Sweep the arm up, lift the hips. If you need to take that top leg to the middle of your mat for extra support, you can. I encourage you to try both heels stacked and then rotating the top of the shoulder down the back to help you lift those hips up. And exhale back to regular plank. Squeeze the thighs, lift the abdomen, look forward. Exhale over to the left, reach the right arm up, top of the shoulder down, engage the left oblique, raise the right hip. Taking a variation if you need to. And exhale back to plank. And then take your vinyasa here. Facing dog. Inhale, right leg back. Sweep it forward to the right wrist, left knee down. Let's take a low crescent lunge here, untuck the toes. Sweep the arms up, tuck the tail, sink the hips, and create a nice stretch for yourself. But try not to bind up by the neck. Really roll those outer shoulders forward, lengthen the back of the head. Exhale, place the hands down and lift the right foot just for a little hamstring stretch. We'll visit here. And then hands on the inside of the right foot. You can take vinyasa. Optional if you want to go straight to down dog, that works too. Let's take this to the other side. Lift the left leg, reach and lengthen. Exhale to the left wrist, right knee down, untuck the toes. Tuck the tail under, sweep the arms up, sink the hips. Pull the low abdomen in. And then reach from the back of the head. Really unbinding that neck area. And exhaling. And take your vinyasa here. Moving back and down dog. Take a breath here in your down dog. Really lengthen through the heels. And look forward. You can walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, let's come into chair. Bend the knees. Sit back. Reach the arms up and above, and then really engage the front body towards the back body. Heels are heavy. Sit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Coming up to stand, exhale, hands to heart center. Coming to our attention today. Something that we want to bring into our practice. Slowing the breath down, listening to our heart. Good. Just feeling into our heart space, taking this with us. Inhale, coming into onto chair, sweep the arms, sit back. Squeeze the thighs together, sit deeper. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands, right foot back, left foot back, or hop into plank. Vinyasa here. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg back. Sweep it forward to the right wrist, left heel down, warrior one. Sweep the arms up, grab opposite elbows. Sink that outer left heel down. And then raise the right heel so you're coming to a pointed flexed foot here. Rotate the chest towards the right knee. Right heel down. Inhale, open up to warrior two. Reach, shoulders over hips, really widen that stance. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, let's take a vinyasa here. Imagine doing our asana from a heart-centered place. So our heart is instigating the movement instead of the brain. Inhale the left leg back. Sweep it forward to the left wrist, right heel down. Warrior one. Grab opposite elbows the other way. Bend into that warrior outer right heel down. Lift and lengthen. And then raise the left heel as you reach more in this asymmetrical posture. Drop the left heel. Exhale, widen your stance a little as you come into warrior two. Balancing the shoulders over hips. Inhale, reverse. Keep that bend in the front knee. And exhale, pinwheel to a vinyasa. And make your way back to down dog. Take a couple breaths here. Using down dog as a resting pose. Inhale, lift the left leg. Sweep it forward to the left wrist. Drop the right knee. Since we didn't do this on the left side, lift the left foot in case you didn't do it, just to visit that left hamstring. So I do my best to keep everything symmetrical, but while we're here, bring that right hand inside the left foot, raise the right knee, open up the left arm for this low twist. And you can let that right hip drop slightly to help you really engage the abdomen and lengthen the chest away. Good. Exhale, frame the foot, look up. Bring the right foot in, feet together, inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming into chair. Lowering the seat, squeezing thighs. Again, not binding at the top of the neck, really reaching from the heart. And then reach all the way up to back bend. Exhale down. Good. Let's open up their stance to wide-legged forward fold. And if you want to have a block for your hands in front, take something to, we're going to bring the pinky side of our hands on top of the block. So look at your feet, make sure the toes are in the same plane, lined up, and then bring the outer edges of the feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. And then look at the ankles. Let the outer ankle reach down, and then the inner ankle reach up. So no weakness in the ankles there. Inner thighs roll back, sits bones back. Take your Namaste, Anjali, Mudra with your hands, and then walk that block out into a forward fold here. So we're not going to necessarily hammock the back, although there's going to be a nice forward stretch. We want to engage the obliques, the sides of the waist, from the armpits to the hips, back in a straight line. Drop the head, and then as you lengthen the wrist crease away, get really long in the arms, outer shoulders down. So then let's try and incorporate this into a nice conscious forward fold. Squeeze the thighs, hips back. Good. Take another breath here. Really filling all parts of the rib cage. And then inhaling, walking the hands off the block, place the block somewhere nearby, and walk the hands around to the front of your mat. And then let's take the left hand down, right hand up, looking up at the ceiling in a low twist. And exhaling, let's take a vinyasa here. Once you find your way in down dog, lift the abdomen, draw the back ribs up the body, heels away. Inhale, lift the right leg, sweep it forward to the right wrist, left heel down, warrior one. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Bend that front knee, and then take that right length over the right knee and bring the arms by the ears. So a little core work here. If you need that elbow at the knee, you can. But try to squeeze the abdomen in and down and use the back heel heavier than the front heel. Rotate the shoulders towards the ceiling. And inhale, warrior two. Exhale, take your next inhale to crescent. Back heel up, square hips, square shoulders. And exhale, frame the right foot, drop the left knee, and come into Ardha Hanuman. So if you need two blocks, or if your hands, your fingertips will work, find a place where you can shimmy that right heel out a bit so that the left hip is over top the left knee with the right long. And then use the blocks to pull, as if we were coming into upward facing dog. So pull the blocks back, chest forward, right quad engaged. And then take a look at that foot without losing the lift in the chest, and make sure the big toe mound is reaching away. So oftentimes we're a little bit weaker in the instep, so make sure you're bringing that tenacity in the instep and that inner toe mound. Good. Last breath. And exhale. Put the blocks aside. And we'll take a vinyasa here. Reaching back in that back bend. Just noticing with each vinyasa, just getting a little more open. Inhale, lift the left leg. Sweep it forward. Warrior one. Square hips. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhaling, reverse your warrior. Still keeping a bend in that front knee. And then take that length and hinge the upper body, arms at the ears. Reach for some core work. So my left hip's a little weaker than my right, so I have to really do double time to sweep the outer hip down and back and engage that right inner quad. So that's sending some tone through the left abdomen, and then I can start to turn toward the ceiling. Okay, let's get a little longer. Good. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, frame your front foot, pick up the back heel crescent. Reach. And then drop the hands down to frame the left foot, drop the right knee, grab your blocks, and then shimmy the left heel away so that you can get that length. But again, remember to pull the hips back. So not only are you getting that length in the left hamstring, but you're also keeping the right hip over top the right knee. So this is an Ardha Hanuman. So we're prepping for our Hanuman. Pull on the blocks, elbows back, lift the chest. Take a look at that left toe mound, squeeze the thigh, press the toe mound away. The more we get out of this pose, the more we'll get out of future poses in Hanuman. So find that place where you're embodying from the heart. Last breath. And exhale, blocks to the side, then the left knee, and take the vinyasa here. Good. Inhale, the right leg back, sweep it forward to the right wrist, and walk the hands out towards the middle. Again, a wide-legged forward stance, outer edges of the feet parallel. Pull that left heel in, pick up that right heel, and then come into Skandasana, side pose. So you can have your hands down on the floor, or at your heart center for more balance. And pick it up. Heels in, drop over to the right side. Bend the knee. Lengthen that left quad, left hamstring. Squeeze the quads up, switch sides. And we'll visit this on the second time. Second side. Good, exhaling. Coming back to the front of your mat. And then dropping the back heel. And then let's reach around and grab the outer edge of the left foot and draw the heel into the glute. So when we're doing more Hanumans and hip openers, we definitely want to open the quads. You want to take the top of your hand to the top of your foot and bring it in more. Revolving the chest, just making sure not to lose the length and collapsing the left. You don't want to collapse the left shoulder. Good. And then let's walk our hands over to the left side, drop the right knee, and then reach around with our left hand, grab the right knee, bring it towards the glute. I like to just let my front leg just bend to the side and then revolve the chest. But all in all, we really want to get that quad to loosen. A little more intensity, get into the breath. See if you can bring the breath with you. And then exhale, release the leg. Coming back into wide-legged forward stance, outer edges of the feet parallel. Grab the big toe mounds, and then elbows wide, top of the head down. So I'm noticing I'm kickstanding with my thumb. Try and actually bring the thumb all the way around the big toe. That way we can use more of our leg strength for balance. And then see, is there one leg that feels more stretched out or more tight? Can we even out those muscles as we descend head to the ground? And with the head on the ground, really roll those shoulders up the back. Lift the sits bones. Nice inversion here. Really good to calm the mind. Inhale, coming out, walking the hands around to the front of the mat again, and take a vinyasa. Into down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, sweep it forward into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Bring the left leg in slightly, heels back. Make sure that each foot has its own lane, that we're not over crossing the feet. So back leg is at 45-degree, outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. And then grab your blocks again. And bring it to either side of the foot. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Squeeze the tops of the thighs back, inner thighs back. And then hands on the hips. Let's come all the way up. So once here, let's grab opposite elbows or reverse namaste. I'm going to go with reverse namaste. Already got my wrists and pinkies open, so. So once you have namaste, really try and press into the palms and roll the shoulders open. And then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit bones back. Squeeze the quads up, kneecaps up. Halfway until before you feel your back start to curve. We don't want to do that. We want to see if we can lengthen the back away from the hips. So come to a place where you still feel that flat back and your shoulders, your forearms should teach you where that is. So once you find that, see if you can get a little lower by releasing the right hamstring. The more we release the hamstring, the more the back can stay flat. So for those who are more Gumby, you can even get your cheek to the inside of your calf. This only happens when you really press into those heels and squeeze the quads up to release the hamstrings. So we're using the muscle dynamics, squeezing quads to release hamstrings, squeezing hamstrings to release quads, that kind of agonist. I think this is the term is. Anyway, let's come up halfway again to where we first stopped. And then release your mudra, or your elbows. Bring your hands to the hips. Left hand comes to that block or to the ground. And then we're going to come into a twisted triangle here. So squeeze again, quads up. Reach the chest forward. Nice long line from the top shoulder to the left hip. Open up those arms when you feel ready. So press into the instep of both feet, especially the front one. And if you feel something, just reach with those toes, with the heel, whatever you need to do. And then exhale, hands on the blocks. Bring the blocks to either side, and let's come into triangle pose. So back up that back foot, open up the left arm, triangle, quick pivot here, and then half moon, bending the right leg, lifting the left. Right arm comes to a block outside of the pinky toe or to the floor. And again, using that revolving action through the chest, see if you can lift that foot higher. Good. Exhale, frame the right foot, drop the head, standing split. Tuck the chin, lift the abdomen into the diaphragm so you can raise your left foot higher. And then exhale, drop the back knee, and let's take a vinyasa here. Exhaling, we'll meet back in down dog. Inhale the left foot long. Exhale, sweep it forward to the left wrist. Pull in that right leg. Grab your blocks. Align your feet so each foot has its own lane. Outer edge of the left foot is parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Squeeze the thighs in. Look forward, reach the chest. Press into the big toe mound. Hands on the hips, coming up. Find whatever mudra you took on the opposite side. So if you took elbows, switch your grasp to the weird way. If you took reverse namaste, go ahead and take that again. So once you have that, inhale, press into the hands, pull the elbows apart, reach the clavicle, which is the collarbone, wide, and then squeeze the thighs, kneecaps up, hinge forward. Right hip forward, left hip back. Squeeze, squeeze up. Find that place where you're still in a flat back, which maybe it is where it is for you. Just let it be where it is. And then, again, engage into that left quad, left calf. See if you can lengthen so that you can get longer and straighter. And this is going to take that quadricep engaging. If you're all the way to almost reaching or reaching your chin, you can tuck the chin. And if you're still working your way, just make sure you have a nice, easy neck and that the shoulders are still rolling down the back and you're keeping that flat back. And then inhale, come halfway or where you started. Undo the elbows or namaste, hands on the hips. Take a block and we'll go to reverse triangle. Outside, bringing the right hand outside of the left foot on the block. Left hand on the hip. Squeeze thighs up, kneecaps up. Inner thighs back. And then rotate the chest. Find that long line from the left shoulder head diagonally across to the right hip. Open up that arm. Squeeze hips back, quads up. And be free. Listen to the breath. Embody the pose. Last breath, go for leg. And exhale. Come back to center. Keep that block just outside the left pinky. Let's come into a regular triangle. So right foot back, left hand on shin. Open up. The right instep is intersecting with the front heel. And then just come into a triangle here. Quads up, look up, and then visiting into half moon, right hand on hip, bend the left knee, raise the right leg, maybe open up the arms, and lift the chest. Exhale, frame the left foot, drop the right hip, standing split here. Pull the quad up, lift the abdomen up into the diaphragm, into the chest. So the center of gravity comes more straight. And then exhale, back to a low lunge, and we'll make our way through to Vinyasa. And once we're in our down dog, let's drop the knees and come to child's pose. Rest the forehead on the mat. Feeling your hips at all, just bring the knees a little wider. imagine I'm coming around and placing my hands on your pelvis, pressing the hips down. So you can do that at home with the heel of your hand pressing back, pressing the hips back. Take another breath to release. And inhaling, let's come to tabletop and try this out, this Hanumanasana. So, what I suggest is having a block or a blanket for underneath your right hip. We're going to start on the right side. And then fingertips can be to hold the hips up, or you can use blocks for the hands. So I'm just going to keep my blanket in a fold to the right. If you know that you're not as flexible and you're going to need that block underneath the hip, then go ahead and just keep the block to the right and use more of the fingertips. Okay, so coming into a low lunar lunge, right foot comes forward, and shimmy that right heel out. I'm going to bring my heel, I'm going to scooch up on my mat a little so my heel comes to the wooden part off of my mat so there's a little more slide. And then I'm going to untuck my back toes and press my right heel forward and bring my hands on the blocks and coming into Hanuman. So I have my back leg is tucked under, and that's going to really help to control the pose when the toe mound and the toes are untucked. And then lift the chest and come to your edge. So for some of you, you might put the block on the second to lowest height, or you might be able to go all the way down or on a blanket. So go in stages, breathing all the while. Inner left thigh is lifting, quad of the right leg is pressing back. So find your edge where you're still able to have that soft mind, soft face, that nice even breath. I'm going to transfer to a blanket. And then, once you find it, if you're all the way down, you want to raise those arms up. You can go ahead. So sometimes if you think of pigeon prep, it's the same idea where we're doing that with our fingertips and we're really using our inner groin strength to lift and flex and lengthen inner thighs. Last breath. And exhale, gently. Lift the hips with the hands, fold the heel in, bend the back leg, and just notice how when we did that, the back toes were untucked the whole time and how safe that is to get in and out of the pose. Okay, so let's come back to a down dog. Lift one or both of the legs to lengthen out. It's kind of nice to take this pose a little more mindfully, as opposed to just being part of the flow. Good, and then drop the knees, bring the left foot forward into the lunge, untuck the back toes, and then again I'm going to shimmy that left heel out further than my mat so it's on the wood. If you want some cushion and you're feeling like you want that extra cushion under your heel, you can do that too, with a blanket or towel. And then shimmy that heel forward, and then press the back toes under and widen your stance a bit. So I'm going to bring my block to the second lowest height in front of my sit bone, right where my hamstring attaches. And then using the block for my hands, right inner groin is reaching up and back. And then just go in stages. Reaching away. Again, the idea of pigeon prep. Fingertips, lifting the groin, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, pelvic floor, and navel center. Lift the chest, lift the heart. See if you can go a little deeper. Once you find that nice place, you're still breathing, you're still getting a lot out of the pose. Left quad engaged. You can reach your arms up. Press the inner toe mound of the back leg back. I'm finding it's easier to engage and go deeper in this pose with my arms up. Like my legs are already knowing what to do to get deeper. So just an idea of where to go. Take another 2 breaths here. Find that peace. Find a place of peace and relaxation. And exhale. Pull the heel in, lift the hips with the arms. Undo, take away your props. And then gently make your way back to down dog. Reach one foot away from the other. And then drop the knees. Let's come to our backs, to Setu Bandha. Knees up, and bring your seat to your heels. Roll the shoulders under. And just take a moment to release into the back body. Feels very nice, doesn't it? And then hold the hips up, tailbone to knee crease, and roll the outer shoulders underneath even more. Create a clasp with the hands, or bring those fingertips under the heels, and then press the hips up, tucking the tail, lengthening the quads, engaging the quads. And often in my classes I see the knees coming out wide. Bring those knees in, just like in chair pose, inner thighs moving down, parallel legs. And then press into the heels so the weight comes to the top of the shoulders more. And exhale, release. You can windshield wiper the knees. Let's take one more like this. Heels to the seat. Inhale, tuck the tail. Lift the chest. Take a clasp or walk the palms under the heels. Roll the shoulders under. Inner thighs down, hips up. A little deeper into this bridge. I'm noticing a little binding in my collarbone, so open up, shoulder heads wide. Just release the front of the neck. And exhale down. Gently, gently. Okay. And let's come into a nice twist here. So lift your hips, put it over to the right, and then cross your left knee on top of the right knee. You can take this another level by bringing the toes behind the right calf, or like what we do in eagle. Arms out in a T, lift the knees, and then roll the knees over to the left. And you can put them on top of a block if they don't reach the ground. That can feel really nice. I'm going to do that here. And then look over the right hand. And find a place, it doesn't really matter if you have the toes wrapped around or everything the way I instructed. Just find a place where you can be. What I really want is to release the spine and use the breath to slow and release the spine a little bit deeper in this twist here. So that means really sinking deeply into the left hip, releasing the right shoulder down. Getting that nice opening in the waist. A couple more breaths here. And gently roll the hips back up, uncross the legs. Press the sacrum into the mat. If you've had a block on the left side, bring it to the right. And then arms out in a T. Press and lift the hips and place them over to the left about 4 or 5 inches. Lift the knees and right knee comes on top of left knee. Optional toe tuck behind the calf. Keep the knees lifted and then rock over to the right, bringing the knees to the block, to a comfortable level. And then again, this is really about releasing, finding the spine to open. Left shoulder down, looking over that left hand. See if we can relax our body more deeply so that the spine can release even more. Just letting all the tension leave the body. The face and the jaw. And then take another breath here. And gently pulling the knees up, placing the sacrum in the middle. And then make your way to Shavasana. Letting the legs go out, shoulders still tucked under, palms face up. Find that peacefulness from the heart center, emanating out, creating peace and relaxation through the whole body, face, neck, jaw, chest, stomach, back, hips, legs, lower legs, ankles, wrists, elbows, everything just melting away. And staying in this posture for another 5 minutes or so. I invite you to use this time to reset and rejuvenate after our practice today. It's so important to balance with a little rest. And I'll be signing off. Namaste. See you next week.